I hope you've heard Mr. Adderley talk about that event in our country. I think a precedent where we are helping our own people. And with the hurricanes around us, whether it be in America or the Caribbean, South America, we're going to have to open our country to be willing to help people because it's one world and we all need each other. And you never know when your time comes. We have been blessed, and for God's wisdom, He saw fit to protect us. In spite, yes, we have some damages, but nothing compared to what other places have gone through. And so this whole idea of opening what we have to our own people to help them, opening what we have to other people from other countries like Dominica and others who need help, we have to do that. That's part of our Christian mandate. I would almost say that churches need to think now of maybe as you build a church, think of building in the concept of being a shelter, because we need to have more shelters. The need is so great. And Uriel, as we come to the end of the program, what would you like to say to the public, having gone through this horrendous, but I suppose miraculous experience?
No, what I would really want to say to the general public, and particularly those who supported us over the last several weeks, I would like to say a heartfelt thank you to them on behalf of New Providence Community Church and the pastoral team, the elders, and the general church population. And more importantly is we can't do this without the public support.
Right.
We must have, they've given us moral support. They've stepped up with their finances, with their talent, with their, and they provided the assistance that we needed. And it's, although I may be sitting here with you and like persons would say in the limelight, the reality is it's not a one-man operation.
Right.
It takes hundreds of persons, the concept of the church, the leadership of the church, and they put no restriction on me. Their thing is, Uriel, just do what you have to do and get it right, and just do it right. And I'll be remiss if I don't thank Narika Burrows. She's with the Bahamas Central Securities Depository. She's president. She was one of the persons who, at the early stage of the shelter, who stepped up in a big way. And she went out and she solicited financial support in terms of cash support. She brought us a lot of supplies, and she is a member of New Providence Community Church and the whole entire Bahamas. I must say thank you to everyone. Without you, it could not have happened.
And then yesterday in church, you had the Salina Point Atkins people, and I noticed that you gave them lunch, eh?
Yes,
I went and met them in the porch,
Okay.
and they were having their last, what the pastor called the Last Supper, right?
Last Supper.
Yeah, and they went back this morning.
Yes. See, what happened was once they were moved out of the shelter, they left the shelter the Saturday, and the following Sunday, I invited all the church. And then what was amazing was the leader of the group, Stephen Rose, he called me up and he laughed. He said, Uriel, he said, he called me Brother Adderly. He said, Brother Adderly, he said, I told my crew, he said, we going to Brother Adderly Church tomorrow morning. And he said, within the clip of his finger, everyone was lined up, ready to come. And he said, that was amazing. He said, I've never seen that before. So what I did the second Sunday, I decided to invite them. And I said, we'll invite them for the last time, to give them the opportunity to meet the church for the last time and to offer them lunch and allow the church the opportunity to interact so they see people one-on-one as individual. Now, what I want to see moving forward, and this is my concern, is that we just don't abandon them, that they move back to the far-flung settlement of Salina Point, and then what we do is we forget that, we would forget that they're there. We need to make sure that that don't happen. We want to keep them as a focal point. I think what transpired at the church was providence. I think it was God speaking to us and in some way speaking to them. And I think it gave us the opportunity now to partner with them and because I get all their cell numbers. I know all the names, we have pictures, and at some point I would have to visit them. And what they would give us the opportunity to partner with them and help with the process of helping to advance the community, because we want to make sure that they no longer are forgotten people. So let's make sure that as a New Providence Community Church, that we, even in travel, maybe put on your itinerary, your next travel plan is to Salina Point.
Right.
I mean, once you come to me, I can get a call, maybe connect with somebody down there, and they'll tell you the best place you can select as the residence.
Yeah.
But it can bring economic relief in some way to those people.
Now, you did say there are quite a bit of supplies left.
Yes.
And the plan is to pack those supplies and forward it to the people.
To the persons. 'Cause for right now, I have a shipment that I need to send to Megwana. And the idea is, again, sending it to the individuals who they earmark for. Not just sending it and it reach at a docking facility on the island and then it's just stuck there. But we want to make sure that it goes, and we're going to use WhatsApp, communication system, whatever, to make sure that the items get to the persons.
So there's the pre-hurricane, there's the hurricane, and the post-hurricane.
post-hurricane.
So the shelter has to run through all those phases.
Particularly in this case.
And each of those phases are different.
Yes, yes. Because the challenge now is the distribution of the goods, because we got to honor the commitment of our donors. And you know, persons came to us and donated in the way they did because they feel that we would honor our commitment.
Yes.
To make sure that the goods show up to the individuals that they intended for.
Yeah. Well, Uriel, on behalf of Bahamian people, particularly us in Nassau, and as one who has known you and watched you, I want to say you did me proud, you did us proud, and really you showed what I believe, people, helping people. You can't live alone, family, Bahamians. If you think you can live alone, you're fooling yourself. A person is defined as a person in communion with another person. We all need each other. You can break one stick. It's hard to break 10. It's what a disaster teaches us, or reminds us, I would say, is that remember, you can't make it alone. You need somebody to be there with you. And that's represented by God himself. At the time of our greatest need, he came down to be with us. And that's the Christian message. Let us always be there, not just for ourselves and our family, but be there for other people as well. Uriel, thank you and the church for demonstrating that.
Thank you, Dr. Allen, for having me, and it's a pleasure being able to speak to the Bahamian people.
Good night.